What's shaking, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Gardner Oat, founder and CEO of GEMS Intercontinental, an abbreviation for Gardner's English Mastery School Intercontinental, where we learn English the practical and conversational way. Well, I'm back again with another exciting episode on making and receiving phone calls. And to be very specific, I have prepared detailed slides on how to introduce yourself on a phone call. So without wasting much time, let's dive in. Hello, this is Gardner calling from Gardner's English Mastery School Intercontinental. I hope you're doing well. Now, this is why this particular phrase works, okay? It clearly identifies you and sets a polite, respectful tone right from the start. And again, you get to use this particular phrase in formal or professional calls, especially when reaching out to clients or partners. Remember to keep your tone warm and your voice should match the kindness of your words. Let's get to the next phrase. Hi, my name is Gardner and I'm calling regarding the issue we talked about last week. Now, this particular phrase works simply because it respects the listener's time while still sounding polite and professional. You use this particular phrase when you want to be direct and efficient, especially in business calls. Now, remember to use a calm tone and practice stating your reason in one clear sentence before dialing. Fantastic. Let's get to the next phrase. Good morning. This is Gardner. Am I speaking with Peter? Now, this particular phrase avoids assumptions and shows professionalism and courtesy. Alright? You use this particular phrase when you are unsure who answered the phone on the other end. Remember to pause right after asking and give the other person space to respond. Great, let's get to the next phrase. Hi, this is Gardner. We met at Tattoo City and I wanted to follow up. Now, this particular phrase works because it builds familiarity and helps the listener to quickly remember you. You use this particular phrase whenever you're trying to network or whenever you want to do post-event follow-up calls. Remember to use a warm, polite tone and mention a small detail from your interaction that stood out. Alright? Fantastic. Let's get to the next phrase. Hello, my name is Gardner and I'm reaching out to introduce myself. Now, this particular phrase is honest and transparent, and this helps to build trust right from the beginning. You use this particular phrase in cold calls or whenever you're trying to do first time introductions. Remember to say it confidently and avoid sounding unsure or hesitant. Fantastic. Hi, this is Gardner speaking. I was referred to you by Simon. Now, this particular phrase works simply because it instantly builds credibility and trust throughout the connection, right? And you use this particular phrase on what we call referral-based introductions. Remember to use a relaxed tone and always confirm permission before using someone's name. Fantastic. Good afternoon. You are speaking with Gardner from GEMS Intercontinental. Now, this particular phrase works simply because it sounds structured, number one, confident, number two, and very professional. You use this particular phrase when answering inbound calls in a professional setting, okay? And make sure to smile while speaking, just the same way I'm doing it, all right? Simply because it naturally improves your tone. Great, let's get to the next phrase. Hi there, this is Gardner. Am I catching you at a good time? Now, this particular phrase shows respect for the other person's time and availability. You use this particular phrase when calling someone unexpectedly or during odd hours. Remember to use a polite, friendly tone and be ready to reschedule if they say it's not a good time that you're calling. Fantastic. Let's get to the next phrase. Hello, my name is Gardner and I work as a professional English tutor at Gems Intercontinental. Now, this particular phrase clearly communicates who you are and what you do. You use this particular phrase in professional introductions or when positioning yourself. Remember to use a warm tone and keep your job title simple and easy to understand. Great, let's get to the next phrase. Hi, this is Gardner. I'm calling to follow up on our last conversation. Now, this particular phrase works because it reminds the listener of your connection and purpose, and you use this particular phrase for follow-up calls after previous discussions. Remember to use a polite tone and briefly reference what you discussed to jog their memory. Great. Good morning, my name is Gardner and I represent Gems Intercontinental. Now, this particular phrase works because it positions you as a professional representative rather. Okay, you use this particular phrase in formal business or corporate calls, and remember to use a gentle tone and enunciate your company name clearly. Great. Hi, this is Gardner. I got your contact from Peter. Now, this particular phrase adds transparency and context to your call, and you get to use this particular phrase during what we call cold outreach or networking calls. And remember to use a neutral tone and mention a credible or relevant source for better reception. Fantastic. Hello, you're speaking with Gardner. How can I assist you today? Now, this particular phrase works because it's welcoming and it is service oriented. Now, my people who work in the customer service industry, of course, this is where you get to apply this particular phrase commonly. All right, so you use this phrase in customer service or inbound support calls. And remember to sound enthusiastic because energy matters in customer interactions. Great, let's get to the next phrase. Hi, my name is Gardner and I'm calling about a possible collaboration. Now, this particular phrase sparks interest and suggests a mutual benefit. And you use this particular phrase in a business development or partnership discussions. And remember to keep your tone confident but not too pushy. All right? Fantastic. Good evening. This is Gardner. I'll keep this brief. Now, this particular phrase reassures the listener that you respect their time. And secondly, you use this particular phrase when calling busy professionals or whenever you're calling late in the day. Remember to use a calm, convincing tone, but keep it short and brief in order to deliver value quickly. Fantastic. Hi, it's Gardner here. Just wanted to quickly introduce myself. Now, this particular phrase sounds natural and relaxed while still being very professional. You use this particular phrase in casual, professional, or creative industry calls. Remember to use a friendly tone to match the casual phrasing. Great. Hello, my name is Gardner and I specialize in tutoring English. Now, this particular phrase highlights your value immediately. Remember that you use this particular phrase whenever you're positioning yourself as an expert. And don't forget to use a calm, convincing tone and focus on what benefits your expertise is bringing to the table. Fantastic. Hi, this is Gardner. I'm calling in response to your inquiry. Now, this particular phrase shows attentiveness and professionalism. You use this particular phrase whenever you're responding to leads or customer requests. Make sure to use an honest, polite tone and make sure to acknowledge their specific request early in the call. Fantastic. Good day, this is Gardner. Thank you for taking my call. Now, This particular phrase creates a polite and appreciative tone, and you use this particular phrase for formal or respectful introductions. Make sure to keep your voice calm and steady, just as mine is. Fantastic. And now to the last phrase of the day. Hi, my name is Gardner, and I'd love to tell you a bit about what I do. Now, this particular phrase invites curiosity and keeps the tone engaging. Remember, you get to use this particular phrase whenever you're doing what we call personal branding or pitching yourself. And always keep your voice calm and steady, and follow with a short, compelling elevator pitch about yourself. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that has been my time today. Don't forget to leave a message on the message section, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you and respond to any queries that you have. Up to that point, I'll see you in the next one. My name is Gardner Oat. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.